So we're up to day 3 today. I'm going to do a water change now. So I've noticed down in this corner we've got a bit of root growing down now. That's interesting. I don't know whether it was there before, but it's there now. And there we go, there's a pet snail crawling across the front of the glass. So same time tomorrow, guys. See you later. It's day 4 now. Look at that root already. It's flying right down there, down into the soil. Seems to be quite a bit of gas building up in the substrate as well. I'm interested in seeing what goes on with that. So I'm going to get another water change done now. So it's literally 2 minutes maintenance a day. That's day 4. Water change is done. Let me get this piece of soil out, I think. It's breaking up. I'll siphon that out actually. Done and dusted. That's how easy it is to remove soil. You've seen it down there, it's a big clump. Everyone likes to tell you horror stories about a bit of soil in the above the cap in the Walstad method, but I mean, how simple was that to remove? It's not hard. I've seen a lot of new roots going on. There's a root down here growing into the soil. It seems to be rooting quite fast actually, the little bits and pieces I can see. Do you know what, if I'm honest, this is bugging me a bit. This is bugging me here. So I'm going to level that out a bit. I think that looks a bit better. So 3 days left now, and then I'm going to drop the water changes down to every 3 days. Start letting the cycle take over a little bit. Day 5 today, I think it is. I'm not sure whether it's day 4 or day 5. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty confident it's day 5. I just haven't kept in. So water change today. Oh, what have I done there? Wasn't paying attention. That could have gone so bad, couldn't it? But then I suppose I did show you yesterday how to clean up a bit of soil. And it's not the end of the world. A lot of people say you get a lot of people say you get, oh god. A lot of people say you get big algae breaks if dirt gets into the water column, but I tend to think that's a myth. I've had water, you know, I've had soil in the water column. I had shrimp in my last Walstad tank, and whenever soil got in the water column, I found the shrimp used to just break it all up and it'd be gone in a couple of hours. So maybe that's a perk of having shrimp, I don't know. But it's something I observed, and I never really used to get algae issues when the soil got in the water column. I used to just clean it up. In fact, I just let the shrimp clean it up. So there we go. Most of the water's out. Now, I don't know whether I'm telling the truth or not, but it seems like there's a lot more floating plants. I haven't added any, I don't think, until the last time I showed you. Since the last time I showed you, I don't think I've added anything, unless I'm telling you fibs, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. But to me, it looks like it's grown. Hopefully to you guys, with you getting regular updates on the same video, hopefully it stands out that there is or there isn't. But anyway, I'll tell you what, there's two things that I really appreciate about this tank. The fact that the water looks absolutely gin clear and it's silent, it's quite tranquil. The fact that, you know, I'm so used to being around aquariums where there's absolutely tons of noise. So it's actually quite refreshing and therapeutic to not hear pumps and air pumps buzzing and rattling, and it's just silent. So there we go, that's another day's water change done. Got a bit of tidying up to do, but do you know what? As I say, there's this tranquility that comes with this tank that I'm starting to appreciate. There's absolutely no sound out of it. And it makes me look forward to seeing it with proper livestock in it in a few weeks. I'll say I'm going to do plenty of water changes between now and then, help it balance itself naturally, and I hope that this work in the short term gives me a long term gain of stability and balance in the tank, and you know, I hope it runs for a long time. But there's the argument that as you're doing the water changes, you're pulling nutrients out that will potentially not be back in there. But I mean, look at that tank, guys. That's just a fish tank. Like literally, if you take away the term Walstad, it's literally a fish tank with just some soil, a cap of pea gravel, some plants and light. There's no pumps, there's no heater, there's no nothing. Now, if you can create stability in something that simple, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that goes a long way. I think I'm starting to offset the cap at the back with the water changes. I'll further investigate that, but you know, there's a good inch of gravel there, so I'm not too worried. And then what I find is once the aerial advantage covers it and it dims the lights out a bit, I find that doesn't half help balance the tank, just the dimming of the lights, because the dimming of the lights because of the aerial advantage. The floating plants, they cover it and they dim it, and that's when I find that in my last Walstad tank, that's when I found the algae disappeared. Because one, it's pulling all the nutrients out the water column, isn't it? It's out competing the algae, and two, it's stopping it from getting light. It's stopping it accessing the brighter light. So the two things together outcompete the algae, which I think is great. But let me know, do you guys find this silent fish tank, do you find it relaxing? Or because I don't know, there's something very therapeutic about seeing a fish tank that's silent and knowing it processes all its own waste, or it will do eventually. I find that, you know, if you carried on doing water changes the way you would in a normal tank, you know, your water quality be far better. I think the cloudiness, looking at it closely, is like a cross between, might be a bit of dirt, but it's also micro air bubbles as well. By the looks of it, a lot of the plants have started pearling since I put the water in. I think there's a lot of CO2 in tap water. I think that helps the plants get going. Do you think them plants have grown now? I can't tell because obviously you can see. I can't tell because basically you guys see a direct comparison between days, so I don't know whether the plants are looking any different at the moment. See you tomorrow. It's happening, guys. So it's a new day today. As you can see above here, I've done my weekly water change and maintenance on my high-tech tank, and I took some plant trimmings out. I didn't know what to do with the plant trimmings. I didn't know whether to plant them in my high-tech tank or get them in here or just bin them. And I thought, well, if I get enough plant matter in here from the start, then there's no messing around, is there? So I thought I'd plop them in here and plant them when the light comes on. So I put some more floating plants in this morning as well. So what we've got here is some Pogo Stem Installatus Octopus. We've got some Ludwigia Reuben Red. And we've got a different type of Rotala. It's Rotala Orange Juice. So between them we've got a few different pieces of stuff. And they've got adventitious roots on them already, so hopefully that gives them a head start. I don't know whether it will, but they were ready to start propagating new stems in the other tank, and then I've chopped them. I can't see where that, it's that cluttered. But don't forget, these have been grown in CO2, so it might have a bit of a negative impact going in a tank with no CO2 injection, so it remains to be seen. But I just thought, you know, let's get all the plant matter we need in from the start. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, I think, if that makes sense. There's a lot of CO2 in the substrate, or gases. I'm assuming it's CO2, might not be, but probably is. But I say these plants have been grown in CO2, so they look different. They might have to convert to growing them without CO2 now, I don't know. But as we know, the more plant matter get in the start, oh, what the hell? The more plant matter we get in at the start, the more of the nasties we're absorbing. Concentrate. As I'm pulling the tweezers out, the stem's pulling out. Which isn't isn't a good thing, is it? So let's get some. I'm finding it hard to see. There's a lot of stuff floating. So there we go. That's Rotala Orange Juice. I don't know whether you can see the difference. There's another piece of Rotala Orange Juice. So we've got Rotala Indica and Rotala Orange Juice in here now, which for contrast is nice, I suppose. But the most important thing in here is getting as much plant matter as we can in. There's a lot of gas coming out of that substrate. And then we've got the Pogo Stem Installatus Octopus, which is an absolute unit of a plant. When it's grown in CO2, I don't know what it'll do. Not in CO2, but we're going to find out, aren't we? There's a lot of gas coming out of that substrate. Concentrating. There you go. It's already at the top. Look. Concentrating. It's really hard to concentrate on that and talk. Okay, well, there we go. There's a couple of stems here of Ludwigia. I don't know why I go on my camera. I've become a caricature of myself. Oh, my scissors are downstairs from when I trimmed these before, so I'm just going to pick the stems off. I'll take 2 pieces, I think. There's no root on this, which, well, actually there is. But the root and the stem seem to be on the same side of the main stem, which doesn't usually happen, if I'm honest. I've showed you in the past, you normally get a stem on one side and roots on the other. Do you know what I think it's cool when is it the Americans or the Canadians say roots? Roots. Concentrating. Concentrating. It's so tightly packed now. I can't get near the substrate without touching another plant. Just came straight back out the substrate. I feel like when I'm planting now, like the amount of gas coming out the substrate pushing the stems back out. See? Did you see that? Oops. It's looking pretty decent, isn't it? I'm quite impressed with that. I'm just having a nose. Oh, look. So I thought that root, you can see that, I thought that, I said, so there's the main stem that it was on, and then I've separated it there, and then I said the roots are on the same side, but actually the secondary stem is starting to grow stems, which so there we go. It's looking pretty full of plants now. See, this is what I'm saying with the Walstad method. You need to, ideally, you need to get this amount of plant matter in at the start. That's the way to win with the Walstad method. Because you've got all that soil at the bottom producing loads of nutrients, and then if you haven't got enough stuff to absorb them nutrients, it won't balance. But if you've got all them plants absorbing nutrients, you're onto a winner. I want to try and get that pogo stem in, stylitis off this. They just don't seem to be growing up right yet. I'm hoping all the plant matter explodes. Another thing below this tank is another tank. This tank here is double the size of the one above. This one's 50 litres. And I'm wondering whether I should do like another ecosystem aquarium in here. All I'd need is the light. And the light's already on a timer, so let me know what you're thinking, guys. Do you think I should do another ecosystem aquarium down here? Because the volume of the tank, although it doesn't, it's a lot bigger, so I could get a lot more plants in here. Let me know what you think. Time for another water change. I'm looking forward to the plant matter getting going in this tank, to be honest. Get growing, and it's all just gone in, hasn't it? So it's all growing its new roots and stuff, and then hopefully in like just over a week we should start seeing new growth. I just want everyone to bear in mind that while I talk about the Walstad method quite in a lot of detail, you know, fundamentally the important stuff is the soil, the gravel, the plants, the water and the light, and that's it. And then you get your fish in and some fish food, and the plants process the waste of the fish once the soil's basically matured.